chapter number 1, Economics. Children, we covered in my last video the points national development and income and other goals. These 2 points we covered in my previous video. So before we start to discuss today's point, how to compare different countries or states, let us have a concise recapitulation of previous point, that was a national development. Students, after analyzing what does exactly the national development means, we came to conclusion that of course the meaning of national development also has its different perception to different people, and it is quite natural because it depends upon different to person and the persons in different situations. Therefore, we need to draw out a common consensus of the meaning of national development. Then we come to the conclusion that national development is something in which a country does the function and performs in a way in which all the people should get something in every policies and the projects to be implemented as the development. This is what the recap of the previous point. Now, students, just focus over today's point. How to compare different countries or state? Students, it's very simple question. Let's try to get the answer. If a development can mean different things, how come some countries are generally called developed and others underdeveloped? Okay, before we come to this, let's consider another question. When we compare different things, they could have similarities as well as differences. Which aspect do we use to compare them? Let us look at students in the class itself. How do we compare different students? They differ in their height, health, talent, and interest. The healthiest students may not be the most studious one. The most intelligent students may not be the friendliest one. So, how do we compare the students? The criteria may use depends on the purpose of comparison. We used to compare on different criterions. Then let's take for example a sports team, a debate team, a music team, or a team to organize a picnic. Then still, if for some purpose we have to choose the criterion for all-round progress of a children in the class, then how shall we do it? Okay, children, it's very simple. Usually, we take one or more important characteristics of a single person and compare them based on these characteristics. Of course, there can be differences between what are important characteristics. So comparison, for example, friendliness, the spirit of cooperation, creativity, or the marks secured. This is what the important criteria to be judged or to find it out. Okay, this is true of development too. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes. Countries with higher income students are more developed than other less incomes. This is quite common. This is based on understanding that more income means more of all things that a human being needs. Whatever people like and should have, they will be. To get the greater income, so the greater income itself is considered to one of an important goal. Everywhere, either it is an individual or a nation. So the foremost point to decide whether a nation or an individual is developed or not, the basic criteria is the income of a person. Now, what is the income of a country? Spontaneously, the income of the country is the income of all the residents of the country. This gives the total income of the country. However, for comparison between countries, total income is not such an useful measure, since countries have different population. Comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. Are people in one country better off than others in a different country? Hence, we compare the average income, which is the total income of the country divided by its total population. The average income is also called further the per capita income. Students, the calculation or the formula to obtain the per capita income of the country is very simple. In other words, the total income of the country, I mean to say, the entire population's income per annum, will be divided by the total number of people in the country. Then, whatever the results comes out, that would be the per capita income of a country. So let's come to the next point of the main subheading. In World Bank report submitted in the year 2006, brought out by the World Bank, this criteria is used in classifying countries. Countries with per capita income of rupees 4,53,000 per annum and above in 2004 are called rich countries, whereas with per capita income of rupees 37,000 or less were called the low income countries. Students, now let us try to correlate or find it out where India stands in terms of this. India comes in the category of low income countries because its per capita income in 2004 was just rupees 28,000 per annum. Then the rich countries, excluding countries of Middle East and a certain other countries, are generally called developed countries. So this is what the criteria or the basis how one can compare the different countries or different states to declare whether a country or a state is developed or underdeveloped. As you know, students, in our previous class we studied about one of the important point, income and other goals. Here when we talk about the nation and its development level, here also along with the income and other criterias as other goals also play an important role to call country whether developed. Then the same factors will also be considered here, like security, respect for others and the freedom. So very important above all is the equal treatment. Children, as we understood, when we talk about an individual's development along with the income, how other goals they play an important role in one's own improving the quality of life, the equal treatment, security, freedom, these factors play an important role. In the same way, in terms of the country also, these are very significant points to be considered. Then students, we could understand better by taking an example here. Look at this chart. Look at this table. In this table, we get the per capita income of few selected states of our country. Punjab, Kerala, Bihar. So let us find it out, the per capita income of each state during the year of 2002 and 3. Punjab is at the top with the per capita income 26,000, whereas Kerala stands at the second place with the per capita income 22,800 and Bihar stands at the third place with 5,700 only. Children, so now this is the table which provides us the information about the only the income, the per capita income of a states. But on the basis of the income, we cannot declare any country or a state is a developed one, because beside the average income, many more things need to be think over. Then let us find it out. As per this figure, what do we understand of this table? Okay, children, this table says that in the first column it shows the Kerala, out of 1,000 children born alive, 11 died before completing 1 year of the age. But whereas Punjab, the proportion of children dying within 1 year of birth is 49, which is nearly 5 times more. On the other hand, the per capita income of Punjab is much more than Kerala as shown in this table. Then how can we take only the income of the state to say it is a developed state? No, we cannot. Now we can understand here, other than the income, there are many other factors are equally important. Let's go ahead and analyze this table, children. As you know, now try to think of a parents whose children die before they even celebrate their first birthday. How painful it is. It must be to these, the points and those parents to think over. The next important note, the year to which this data pertains, it is related. It is 2003. So, children, we are not talking about old times. It's not too old data. It is just 56 years after independence, when our metro towns are full of high-rise buildings and shopping malls. Even in such a period, this is what our situations. Students, the problem does not come to an end here only, but also the problem moves ahead to the next point, that is infant mortality rate. Just look at here the another table. I would like to show you this table. In this table, you see the literacy rate in all these three states. In Punjab, 70%, Kerala 91%, whereas in Bihar it is 47%. Then in this point also you would come to know that only the income does not considered, or it cannot be considered as the major criteria to declare the state or a country is developed or underdeveloped. And now we just focus over the last column, that is net attendance ratio for classes 1 to 5 in the year 95 to 96, the data which is provided here. As per this, the net attendance in Punjab is 81%, whereas in Kerala it is 91%, and the Bihar is the 41%. So we can pick up the important point to judge and to find out whether the country or a state is developed or underdeveloped, along with the per capita income of a state. Next point is literacy percentage. Then the third point is infant mortality rate, and the fourth point can be the net attendance ratio for classes 1 to 5. Students, with this we could complete the 2 points of this lesson, the income and other criteria, and the how to compare different countries or states. So the remaining point to be continued in my next video. Till then, bye, take care.